Okay, now we're going to take a look at the Christie Terra Controller. It's an embedded appliance for configuring and managing Christie Terra systems. When you assemble more than 2 Christie Terra units into a configuration where you want to do more than just extend, you want to switch, you want to process content, you use a Terra Controller. It's highly secure. All the data on is encrypted, all the communication is encrypted. Comprehensive password management to make sure that we're protecting the eco-environment and the Terra system as it's deployed on a customer managed network. And really what we have is a graphical user interface for configuring and programming that makes it very easy, streamlines setup into 1, 2, 3 simple process. So what we're going to do now is take a look at the graphical user interface and just get a quick look at what's it look like, what's it like to program, once you've programmed it, what's it take to call back layouts and so forth. So here we're going to take just a quick look at the Christie Terra user interface for configuring and programming the system. And I'm just going to walk real quick through a few pages in the Terra system. Here's the page for configuring the displays. So as you get started with the system, you'll discover all the Terra transmitters and receivers. And on this page, this is where I would assign. This is where I've assigned the receivers to the display that they're being used at. And in this case, this last unit here, we've identified that it's driving the multi-viewer display. We've also identified, the address of the unit and the firmware that's on the unit. We get a lot more action as we move into the displays page, and this is where we configure layouts or recall layouts. So right now in this moment, what we have configured is one large display, and we've created a grid on it for mapping sources onto windows that would be presented on a multi-viewer layout. And so what I'll do is, you'll see here, if we just wanted one image to snap to full screen, we'd do that 1 to 1 to 1. If I change it, I can change a grid to 8 by 8. Now what I could do is change the layouts to different sizes. As I program, I have an opportunity to either make changes live or go to preview mode. If I go to preview mode, I can stage these sources on the display and then push them when I've finished. Or I can go to live mode, and what I'll do is I'll pick a different layout here. I've got one source presented full screen on the display. I'm in a what I'll call a fast switcher, clean switching, seamless switching mode, and I have source 4 on the display. I'm going to drag transmitter 2 source in, and you'll see a clean cut, and that's in live mode. Now if I switch over to the preview mode, I'm going to switch to preview mode. I'm going to pick a new layout. Right? So here I have two screens positioned side by side on the display. I'm going to pick one of them, and I'm going to move it up, and then I'm going to go back. I've staged 2 sources on this display. I've staggered one of them, and now I'm going to push it to display. And you'll see I was able to stage that arrangement and push it to display. So what we've just looked at is a couple different features. One is fast switch, a clean switching between 2 live sources presented full screen. We've also looked at a multi-view source that's been prepared in advance, and then I've modified it. And I've modified it live, where the action happened immediately. And I've also modified it in a staged form and then pushed it to display. So we have different tools for these arrangements. And so, as I move through demonstrating this Terra system, you'll see I have a drag and drop environment where I can just drag and drop different sources into a display. So our programming environment is very much like managing a video wall, and then we create layouts, and those layouts can be called from a third-party programming interface, or they can be just recalled from the Terra system, from the Terra controller, or you could put, Christie Widget Designer on top, and that would send a command to call those layouts, making a very simple interface for the user. If we move a little bit farther into the interface here, this is our devices page. And these are all the devices that we have in the system, all the transmitters and receivers. And there's more than just, the 4 on the screen on the left. There's a couple more transmitters in the back. There's also receivers that are delivering video to the X80. And what we've been doing is using the Terra system, not just for the 4 Pandora's box sources and the multi-viewer, but also for delivering content to the X80, the X80 system.